Hello everyone and welcome to the webinar Managing Employee Performance. My name is Juliet and I'm going to be taking you through this presentation today. Okay, so duration of this webinar will be approximately 30 to 40 minutes. Your speakers must be turned on to hear this webinar. My microphone is on, however everyone else's has been muted so that obviously be going through some questions at the end of this session. If you could please use the chat box as well to ask these questions throughout the webinar. So at the end of this webinar, you'll be familiar with the performance screen. We're going to be able to run you through the employee performance reports, get you familiar with that. You'll also be familiar with the Employee Performance Extended Report, which is very useful, and understand how to measure productivity. You'll also be able to run the client retention reports and understand how to measure rebookings. Okay, so I'm just going to look at a few employee performance reports with you. If you're not familiar with getting to the reports section or area, you'll need to select the Tools tab on the right-hand side of your navigation panel in Shortcuts, and you'll find the Reports icon within it, which is this icon here. That will then open up your reporting categories, okay, on your left-hand corner of your screen, and they'll be broken up into different reporting categories. What we want to look for with employee performance reports is, first of all, a business employee performance report. You'll find that located underneath the tab Business. And then you'll see the third one down is your business employee performance. Now this is made inactive by default, so if you would like to have this report active, there is a little icon at the bottom of your screen that will say show me inactive or inactive, and you just need to tick that and then that will bring up the report. The other report that you would like to look at, or you should be looking at, is the performance summary, the ranking report, and also the performance summary extended report is very useful. You will find these three reports located underneath the employees section, okay? And underneath there, towards the bottom of that reporting area, you will find your performance summary, the extended, and the ranking report. So let's just take a look at the business employee performance report and what that will actually show you. Now, to view your report, you would need to select on the report name, and then you would need to select View. The bottom of the screen. So what this business employee performance report is going to show you is the service sales. Okay, so you might have this broken up into non-technical stylist services or technical chemical services, depending. Okay, the retail sales as well, it will show you those sales for the employees. It will also show you the total sales, and in that category or section, it will show you the percentage service of totals, the percentage retail total, percentage retail to service total, and then the percentage of chemical services performed. Okay, so that's just showing you that information just in that screen there. Now the performance statistics, this is where you can view by hour, day, week and month. Okay, just down a little bit below. So it's going to give you the total time worked. Okay, so it's going to show you hour, day, week, month, etc. And then the average service sales within that. Okay, and also breaking it down into the average retail sales. So that's the business employee performance. So that's a great one to take a look at generally each month. Okay, so the business or the performance summary, sorry. So this is just the employee performance summary, not the extended one that we're looking at the moment. So what you'll be able to view in this report is it will show you a list of all of your employees. Okay. Now you can actually pull this report up to only view individual employee breakdown at one time. Okay. Or you could just choose to view all in the settings or in the options. Now it's going to report the performance for the clients that the employees serviced. Okay, so it's going to give you a total value of clients that the particular employee has serviced within whatever period you've chosen. Okay, it could be a month, it could be a fortnight. It will give you the service by reporting category, so count and the dollar amount. So you'll see up the top, okay, here, so you've got the categories, which are cuts, colors, stylists, style and extensions, etc. Again, these could be different for your business, but these reporting categories, or these categories, should have been set up in the service screen, and therefore you're able to view the count of those categories that that employee has served, and out of those count, what was the dollar value that they brought in. So moving along a little bit onto the report down a bit further, you'll also find that there is a retail column. Okay, so this is also giving you, the points, the units, and the dollar amount in this column. Again, it depends on what you're wanting to, look at in terms of performance. Are you just focusing on the dollar value of an employee performance for retail? You would want to look at that figure underneath. Otherwise, you could look at the points as well, or the count. How many have they sold in retail? 1, 2, 3 products, etc. If they've sold any sundry, if you're having them sell the sundry items, i.e. gift certificates or any other, items like that you're selling under sundry, if you are having them go against their name, you will see that information in the next column. Again, we generally don't sell much sundry items underneath an employee name. It goes underneath the business. The next column we're looking at is a service total, so you'll see the points and the dollar amount as well in that column also. Okay, so the dollar value is listed underneath, the points is listed above, so 1, 2, 3, etc. So the next area is the overall total. So what you'll be able to see there is the total value, okay, that the employee has brought in. The average client value is also a great one to look at, which is in the following column. Okay, so you're able to see what the average dollar value that the clients are spending with that employee. Gift certificate totals as well, so if they've redeemed any gift certificates, and series. Okay, so the next performance summary report would be the extended report. So this is just a little bit more in depth, this report, so it is going to break it down with, hours worked for that employee against productivity. So with this report, you'll notice that there is a survey in retail, category. This category holds all of the employees' service details, the retail plus the service and the retail combined, and then conversion. You'll also notice that there is a section for retail only. So this is just for an employee that has taken retail only clients. So that's not a client that has had a service, that's just potentially a client that's come in, bought products. That is it. So that is what we classify as a retail only client. Whereas up the top there, it's a service client that has purchased retail at the same time. You'll also view the totals. Okay, so as we can see here, we've got the total sundry, total retail, total takings, and total clients that that particular employee has, serviced. It is a little bit different, this report, where you will, instead of seeing the employee names on the left-hand side, okay, you'll see the columns as being the employees. For example, Amy Johnson up the top. Okay, then we're going down a little bit further. So this is again just breaking down the categories, the service categories, what the employee has, which area they've performed in and not performed in terms of categories. Again, this could obviously, make a difference on your report if you've got employees that aren't capable of certain services or categories. So therefore, you would generally see zero value in those if the employee is not capable. However, what you want to look at is, what is this employee generally doing within the services for your business? You'll also notice that on this report, there is a tags area. So these tags are, referring to your tags when you book an appointment in for the client. Are we choosing that the client is a new client? Are we choosing that they're a new request, existing client, etc.? So whatever your tags might be that you've set up, this is where you'll find that information reported. Okay, so that's on the performance summary extended. Now I just have one question here about series, so I'll just answer that quickly. So Series is where you can actually set up, I suppose, a group or a package for a particular service. So a lot of the times you might sell series of the same item and discount it if they pay up front. So it's where you group or package several services, the same service together, pay for 4, get the 5th for free. That sort of information is a series where they would pay the upfront fee, and then over time it will actually deduct the services that they can have over time. So instead of you trying to count how many services that client has had over time because they paid you $500 and they should be getting 5 blow waves or something, that's a little bit over the top there, but it will actually instead of you going back and going, okay, well, she's had 1 already, we need to remember to check her out 4 more free of charge because she's already paid for our 5. The series is a feature in our license, in a beauty spa license, that you can have that will actually do that for you. It will count the services that the client has paid for over time. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so let's now look at the employee ranking report. So with this report, it will rank 9 categories, or it will separate this report up into 9 different areas. So first of all, it is for your top 10 employees. So it will list your top 10 employees. So if you do not have 10 employees, obviously it's only going to show your top however many in order. If you do have more than 10 employees, it will not show us any more than 10. Okay, so what it will rank them on is service. So what's the top employee for bringing the service dollar value into the business? So if we look here, we've got Juliet coming first. She's brought in 5,400, etc. We've got Hannah, who's brought in 3,600, coming second for the service value. The total as well, the product again, so we can take a look at who's our top employee for selling our products, and it will show you there from 1 to 10. It will show you overall, so service and product combined, who's overall bringing us in the most, okay, and in what order. The other one is service dollar value per hour. Okay, so who's making us the most per hour is what that's showing us, and from top to bottom in terms of services. The next one is product dollar per hour. So again, who's making us the most in product sales per hour. And then we have the guests or client count. Okay, so that's how many clients we're bringing into the business, or the employees are bringing into the business, and who's bringing the most in, etc., or turning it over. The other categories are the average service ticket. The next one is the average product ticket, okay, and then the average ticket. Okay, so ticket is like your client that's been checked through. Okay, so now let's look at how we would measure the productivity of our employees. So what you should be looking for is in your reports area as well. So still going back to the reports feature, you need to look for underneath the appointments tab or category, you'll find the appointment schedule analysis and also the value of future appointments. If you're using Walk-in Manager, so if you're using that particular license version, you'll have the employee efficiency report that you want to look at, and also the employee service efficiency. If we have any clients listening that are using both the appointment book and the Walk-in Manager, you'll also want to take a look at the average chicken and service sales per hour from the trading summary. So that's located underneath the end of day category in the reports area, and its trading summary is the name. So let's just take a look at this appointment schedule analysis. So what you'll see here if you view this report is the schedule versus booking time, or rostered versus booked time. Okay. So we can see here we've got the red line, which is the scheduled or the rostered time, and out of that time we have the blue line, which is what was booked out of that scheduled / rostered time. The graph is over a time period. As you can see, it's down the bottom of the graph, it's showing the days. Okay, and it's also listed by date. So times booked, times scheduled, and then the efficiency. So if we take a look to the right, the bottom one there. So if you drill down into that report, it's going to show you the times that they were booked for that employee, the times that they were rostered on the employee, and what was the efficiency for that day in the final column. So looking at the 27th of the 1st, we can see that the efficiency was 100% for that day, which is, top, fantastic. So this appointment schedule analysis report, you can actually select to which employee you want to view, or you can view all. So as we can see currently, this is Amy's. However, you can choose to view one at a time, or again in your options you can choose to view all, and you can just drill down into each employee. The next report that we want to look at is value of future appointments. Okay, so basically this report is going to show us the percentage of appointments that are booked with the employee over a time period. Okay, so if we take a look here, we've got the stylist, etc., and then we've got the number of points of appointments column. Okay, the total value of booked appointments as well will display here. So what's the total value of what we have currently booked in? So you will select a specific employee from the left sidebar, so that's the options button, or the employee, you'll find the employee icon underneath that, and then double click the date for the details list of future appointments. So if I was to select on any of these, I could then drill down into what appointments, are booked in on what date. Okay, so just be aware with in most reports that you can actually select on to, for example, an employee name or a date, that sort of thing, and you will find that you will drill into the report further and it will give you a breakdown of that information further. So just be aware of that. Next, we're looking at the employee efficiency report. So on this report, what we can see is the number of visits, okay, that the employees had. So that's the first column there. We can see the average visit time, so how long was the average visit time. The number of services. Okay, so we're looking there on the third column. And then the average service time there. So it should generally be relatively same to the average visit time, but you might find, and hopefully, that the actual time that it takes the staff or the employee member, it should be a little bit less. You will have the in-service time as well. So that's column showing you, out of those, what was the total in-service time for that employee? So how long has she been in service with clients for that period? The downtime, okay, as well. And then the working time. So out of the, the in-service time, what was the actual working time? And then you have the efficiency also on this report, so the percentage efficiency. The next report is similar, so we've got the employee service efficiency. So this report is showing the average service block time comparison in minutes for the employees. So it's separated by the service category and also by the service here. So as you can see down the left, we've got the service category, which would be haircuts, colour, grooming, it could be waxing, facials, that sort of thing if we're in the beauty industry. You'll also then see the service items or the service names, okay, and then you've got the employees separated. The next report that we're looking at is the trading summary report. You may have already noticed this report if you're using the end of day and printing this off at the end. You'll also find that there's a trading summary employee performance section. This report is showing employee statistics for time period. Okay, now what you'll see here is the products, okay, the service, the sundry sales, and the total. Okay, so and they will then give you the percentage, so the employee percentage of total over the time period, what the average ticket was for each employee. Okay, so the tickets as well, so how many clients came through, and then also the employee time. so what the employee spent that day. And then it will also show the service sales per hour. If you look up the top of your screen when you're viewing a report, you'll also see that there might be like an arrow to go next. It might be showing only 1 out of 5. So just make sure that up the top you can choose next in your reports, and this will give you the option to, I suppose, move to the new screen, or if there are more than just the one screen. So make sure you look at the top of the reports to see that, because there could be 5 pages of this report. Also, if you select next when you're trying to choose your parameters of the report, you'll find that it will run you through all of the filters and the parameters that you can choose. With the trading summary, I can add in a service breakdown by employee and also a product breakdown in employee as well. So that is an additional option when you're choosing your parameters at the start of viewing this report. The next report that we're looking at is going to be the client retention report. Okay, so basically when viewing this report, we have to go back 90 days from when we want to view this. Okay, so basically, the client retention report displays client retention information for a specified period of time. This will be for each employee and also for the business. So this report displays a number of distinct clients that have had a service for the period, and for each of these clients, it will indicate how many returned within the 90 days. The columns are included that indicate the number that returned to the same employee or to a different employee, or simply they did not return at all. So this is a great report to run. As you can see, you've got here an overview up the top. So we've got employees listed down the left-hand side. You've got the total of clients that employee saw within that period. Okay, so again, we're looking at January. Also the same employees. So did that client come back and visit the same employee as well? So how many of those clients did? So if we looked at Stylus 8, for example, Stylus 8 initially viewed 48. Over time, the clients, 30 of them returned back to that Stylus 8. So therefore, her percentage is 62.5% of retaining those clients. So as we can see there, for each employee, you'll see that there's a total clients column, the number and percentage of clients that return to that same employee, and also the number and percentage of clients that return to another employee. And then going along further, number and percentage of total clients retained, and the number and percentage of the lost clients. So again, looking at Stylist 8, we can see that she retained those 30 clients. 7 of those clients went to another employee. Okay, so therefore 14.6% went to another employee. She retained a total of 37 because the client did come back, just not to her or him. So therefore 77.1% is the retention. Lost clients in total were 8 for that stylist, so 22.9. Okay. So that's your client retention report. You'll also find that underneath employee. So the performance screen. So let's just take a look at this screen here. What you need to know on this screen is basically where the employees can come and check how they're tracking for the week, the day and the month. This is also where you would have your employees clock on and clock off, which is the little icon in the right-hand corner of the screen. You'll also be able to switch the view mode of this screen by selecting any of those options in there, whether it be you're looking at a performance of count tracking, or whether you're looking for points or dollar value. You'll also see the schedule clocking as well, so it will also show up here scheduled to work from 9 till 8, whichever employee is logged on or selected at the top there of the screen. They'll also be able to see the employee service breakdown, which is this section here and underneath that area. Okay, so it's going to break down all of the service categories up. So you should have all of your services assigned into a category. So this is where this will pull the information into. So how many, color treatments has this client, has this employee performed, etc. You'll also notice that there is an employee dollars breakdown as well at the bottom of the area of the screen. So this will actually explain to you or show you how much that employee has taken for those services in the service categories. You could also view this, as mentioned before, by the day, the week and the month. Now, when you are looking at the view mode of the dollars value or even at the employee dollar breakdown section, you'll notice on the right hand side that all the prices are currently set to X tax. Okay, so therefore if you are wanting to look at these figures, or if the staff are wanting to look at these figures inclusive of tax, all they would need to do is select that option where it says all prices are X tax, and that will turn it and switch it into all prices inclusive of tax. Now, just to get to this screen, you'll actually need to select your main tab on your right-hand side navigation panel. And in that panel, you will see this performance icon if you're not familiar with that already. That performance icon will then take you and open you up into the performance screen. So I'm going to just take a look at now rebookings because you can track all of your rebookings and get a great report on this. So how can we track our rebookings? First of all, if you haven't had this configured already, what you'll need to do is go into your configuration area. So to do that, you would need to select your Setup tab, which is on your right-hand side navigation panel of shortcuts. You will then need to select the configuration icon that you'll see in that panel, and located underneath the point of sale icon, okay, which will appear on your left-hand side of your screen. There'll be a navigation panel appear. And then underneath the point of sale feature, you'll find this checkbox, Ask to Rebook. Okay, so just make sure that that's ticked, because that will turn on the prompt at point of sale to get your staff asking clients to rebook. You'll also find underneath configuration and then the appointment book icon. Again, that's on the left-hand side. You will see the rebookings prompt to assign employee credit. So make sure that that is also checked off. Okay, so how do we apply a rebooking credit? So if you're not already doing so already, this is how we would do it. We would give credit from the point of sale is the one option. So that's where that rebooking prompt appears. So from the point of sale, shortcuts will prompt the user to ask the client to rebook. So this is what the screen will look like. So if I went to check out a client, I'll have this screen appear. Ask Ella if she wishes to rebook. If I would like to, or if Ella would like to, I would select the rebook button. Okay, that would then take me to the appointment book to make that rebooking. So I'd put in her new appointment. And once I've finished making that appointment, I will get the prompt, if this is a rebooking, would you like to give an employee credit? I would then select yes. I would give myself credit if I was the only employee involved. It will then ask me again if I would like to give another employee credit. If there was no other employee involved, I would then select no at that point. And once that is done, it will then prompt you to go back to the point of sale to finish off the sale. Okay, so that's the one method. You could do this from the appointment book as well. So you could give or apply a rebooking credit from the appointment book. To do that, this is if you've missed out on the prompt, or if you've already got this client or booked in for future appointments, you can still go back and give whoever did that credit. You would need to right-click on the appointment, go down to your Extras tab or option there, and then you'll see that you've got a little arrow to the right. You would then follow that arrow and this new menu will appear on the right-hand side of it, and you'll find in there Set Rebookings. When you select that, it will open up the prompt, if this is a rebooking, would you like to give the credit? And then it will ask you which employee to credit. And then you would select yes. Okay, so that's the alternative way of setting up a rebooking credit for an appointment or a client if they've already been booked in. Otherwise, the prompt at point of sale is very useful. So the report that we need to look at if we're going to set that up, or if we are currently using the prompt or the rebooking, set rebookings, is the rebooking breakdown report. Okay, so again, this is found in your reports area. The selection that you would need to take would be tools, reports, and then employees is the category that you will select to look under, and then you'll find the report rebooking breakdown. So for each employee, it's going to show you the number of visits, okay, so number of clients' visits, the number of rebookings, okay, and also the rebooking percentage. So if we again look at Stylist 8, Stylist 8 had 63 clients visit. Out of those visits, she rebooked or he rebooked 21. Therefore, she has a 33 or he has a 33.33% rebooking rate. You'll also notice down the bottom that there is a group or an overall rebooking percentage. So out of the business, 611 clients came in. We rebooked 275, so therefore our rebooking percentage is sitting at 45.01. Okay, so you should now be able to view and use a performance screen. So it was back at the beginning, showing selecting the main tab, selecting the performance icon and viewing each employee performance. You should be able to run the employee performance reports. Okay, so that's going underneath the employee. There's also one in the business. You should understand the employee performance extended report, and also understand how to measure productivity, and also know how to measure your rebookings and view that report as well. So now I'm going to go through any questions that you have. So again, if you wanted to pop it into the chat box, I'm just going to run through anything that has come through on the way. Okay. Employee efficiency report, where do you find this report? I have this question. So the employee efficiency report, you'll find that if you go into the reports area and then select employees, and then you'll find under there the efficiency report. Okay, so I have also a query here. I believe this is in reference to a series. Can you set up product monthly, like some kind of membership where client regularly has 2 treatments a month for a contract of 3 months and they pay monthly? Yes, this would be part of our memberships feature. This is something that you can get added on to your shortcuts. So I can email you and message you about that one there, Jessica. Okay, I'll get back to anyone else that I wasn't able to answer. I'll send you a message as well. Okay, so the next webinar that we do have coming up is a Stock Management 101 webinar. Okay, so that's on the 21st of March, so Monday the 21st of March, the same time. This will obviously help your ability to manage your stock effectively, has a dramatic impact on your bottom line. So basically you're going to learn, and what we'll cover is how we would add a new supplier, company line and products, how we would create an order, receive an order, evaluate product movement history, and understand how to use product levels. So again, that's on Monday the 21st of March. So how would you register for that webinar or any future webinars? You would need to go to http www.shortcuts.com.au/webinars. You can also view and watch any previous webinars through our library. So after the /webinars, just put another / and type in webinar-library. Okay, so if you have any further questions, you can email the education team. So that is education@shortcuts.com.au. We also have a Facebook page where we also post different statuses and different, how-to tips as well. So you can find us by searching for Shortcuts AU. And then our website is www.shortcuts.com.au. If you need to contact the help desk, or if you need to speak with business development about any of those offers that I mentioned for the inventory and the set and forget marketing, you can contact them on 1300 667374. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope that you've found this webinar very useful, and we'll go and practice that. Any questions, please just put it into the question chat box. Otherwise, you can email me at juliet.bender@shortcuts.com.au. Okay, so I hope you all have a great day. and I'll speak to you later.